Hey guys, so today we're going to be detailing two Porsches. It's going to be a GT3 and a GT4. I had a great time filming this, so I hope you enjoy it. Moving into the GT3, overall great paint. It really wasn't very dirty on the outside. The customer actually has it fully PPF'd. It mainly was the rims and the interior that was dirty. We did, of course, clean up the outside and just kind of sure it looks good. Starting with the rims, they did have some brake dust buildup, so we're going to be spending a lot of time on these. The only way to get these rims back to 100% realistically would be taking them off, leaving them in a chemical solution for a couple hours, and then clay barring and paint correcting them, and then coating them so that you don't have that issue in the future. But in this specific case, we just spent a good amount of time scrubbing them to try to get them back to the way they're supposed to look. It's also really important to clean up the rubber of the tire. The reason you get sling is because the shine of the dressing doesn't bond correctly to the rubber of the tire, so it just flings off, and so you get the specks on the paint. So best way I've found to avoid it, sometimes it is the product that you use for a tire dressing, so I've experimented with mine, but overall you want to make sure that it gets super clean. That way you don't have any issues like that. Moving into the foam wash, basically what that does is just loosen the dirt. That way it falls off a lot easier. That way when you move into the contact wash portion, you don't have any issues of dragging the dirt along the surface of the paint. Definitely my favorite part of the detail. Once that all gets rinsed off, we're moving on to the contact wash. Basically, all that means is you have one bucket of water, one bucket of water and soap. Make sure your buckets are clean. That way you're not putting more dirt onto it. That the whole point is to remove the dirt and minimize you putting the dirt you're taking off back onto the car. So in this specific case, it is fully PPF, so you don't need it as much as other cars, but it's always important to just kind of stay consistent. For drying, I like to use a drying aid. It's basically a wax that adds a hydrophobic coating as well as an extra little bit of lubrication while I'm drying. If there is any little lines left or anything like that, I can come back with compressed air or with a finishing spray wax that evaporates a lot quicker and doesn't leave any type of residue. So glass is honestly one of the most important parts of detailing. It's pretty tricky. Sometimes it can be finicky. The best way I found is using a brand new towel always, and then sometimes two if you have to, if it's pretty dirty, several passes, and then kind of buff off all the residue and work quickly and try to stay out of the sun. Just taking that extra second and going back and making sure it looks good from all angles. That's really the trick I've found. The trunk really wasn't that dirty. It was just kind of dry, the plastics and the carbon fiber. So I just added some product, rehydrated it, and then spread it around with the brush, and then just kind of buff it off with the microfiber towel. That's basically all it needed, and it came out looking great. For the front, it really just needed a good vacuum, so I just dried off the water that was pulled in from when I was washing it and just vacuumed the inside, and it came out pretty good. Moving on to the inside, so my philosophy, I'm not a huge fan of lines. As you can see, the previous detailer put lines in the carpets, and you see that they don't come out until I go back with the carpet cleaner and move it around with the rag and start actually rubbing it in. You're bringing the car back to the way it's supposed to look. From factory, they don't have lines, and then plus the products they use, pain to remove, so I'm just not a huge fan. For the driver's side, it was a little dirtier as usual, so I just put a foaming carpet cleaner. That way it kind of draws all the dirt from inside the carpet, and then agitate it with a soft bristle brush attached to my drill, and then just remove it with the microfiber towel. Basically what that does is it transfers all the dirt onto the towel, so it's always important to work with a clean towel and then kind of switch them out as soon as you notice that they start getting dirty. For the plastics, I use a product that dries matte. I've never really liked how it looks when you have an overly shiny interior. It looks like a Armor All bomb went off in it. I use an all-purpose cleaner, heavily diluted. That way, if I notice that something's not coming out with a little elbow grease, I'll use a little more product and something that's a little bit more agitating. If you do use something that is
too strong, it can damage the plastics. It can leave like a white haze on the black plastics or even take off the white icons. I've seen that before, so it's just about being careful. It was a fun detail. The customer loved it, so that's really what matters in the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to keep up with us, follow us on our social media. I'll link them below. So now we're going to be moving into the GT4. Great before and after. I didn't really take too much footage on this specific one just because my camera kept dying. So I'll just leave it as a little extra treat. I hope you like it. And thank you for watching.